So in a previous video, we've completed the square of a polynomial, a quadratic polynomial, whereby the coefficient that was multiplied with the quadratic term was 1, and we called that coefficient a, so a was equal to 1. So in this video, what we will discuss is, what if this coefficient a is not equal to 1? Well, when we have a quadratic polynomial, it usually comes in this form, the simplified or the expanded form, so to say. It usually comes in the expanded form, ax squared plus bx plus c. You probably know this from the ABC formula, which will be discussed in a later video. Here a and b are coefficients, and c is a constant. So now what I need to do in this case is I need to define my a, b, and c. My a here is 4. Since we have the form here of plus bx, then here there is supposed to be a plus. But when I have a negative, it means that the coefficient b itself is negative. So b here is basically equal to negative 4. C in this case is equal to 17. Now after I found out the values of my coefficients and my constant c, what I need to do now is get the x terms together, and I need to factorize them. I need to find the greatest common factor, which is in my example here, it is basically the 4. So I'll rewrite my polynomial now. Before I add the 0, I have 4 distributed across x squared minus x, and then plus 17. And that is going to be equal to 0. Do not forget that, because we're dealing with an equation here, so there ought to be two sides of it. What we're going to do next is I'm going to apply adding a 0 to whatever I have inside the parentheses here. But just be careful, the 0 that I will add will be the following. The 0 is going to be plus b over 2 times a squared minus b over 2 times a also squared. This is the 0 that I'm going to add here. And this has to be inside the parentheses as well. With that said, we're going to write that 4 times x squared minus x, plus my 0 as we discussed. That's going to be b over 2a all squared minus b over 2a all squared plus 17 equal to 0. What I want to do as next is I want to get this term right here outside of the parentheses. In order to do that, I need to multiply it by 4, because 4 here is distributed across x squared, x, my first term here, and my last term. By first term and last term, I mean the terms that I added in order to make up a 0. So what I'm going to have is 4 distributed across x squared minus x plus b over 2a all squared. Now I close my parentheses. I multiply whatever I have by 4. So here is going to be negative 4 times my b over 2a squared plus 17. That's going to be equal to 0. Here's my square basically. I can simplify this. It's going to be x plus b over 2a squared. So let's not forget the 4 that is distributed across these two terms. Of course, this binomial. That's going to be 4 times x plus b over 2a squared minus 4 times b over 2a squared plus 17. And now I can do the substitution. So this is going to be 4 times x plus b over 2a squared, and we said b is basically 4, or well, minus 4, and we said a is also 4, and so this negative 4 will cancel out with the 4 and will leave me a negative half. So I can rewrite this as x minus 1 over 2, and this binomial squared multiplied by 4 minus now 4 times my negative 4 over 2 times 4, and that is going to be squared. Here I'll also have a negative half. That is going to be squared. And when I square this negative half, it is basically going to give me 1 over 4. And 4 multiplied with 1 over 4 is nothing but a 1 plus 17. It's going to be equal to 0.
If you got any unsolved problem in the world of numbers and equations, make sure to comment it down below and we can get it solved.
And now I have here two constants, like terms. I can add them together, which will give me as a final answer 4 distributed across x minus 1/2 squared plus 16. is equal to 0. And that is going to be my final answer.
Don't forget to subscribe to Sam's Education channel and hit the notifications bell to receive regular updates and access to a variety of solved exercises. See you in the next video.